Hey guys, what is up? Rex here from the Rex Show, and today we got with us
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. Alright, and today we're gonna talk. What are we gonna talk about, Matty?
Well, Instagram and YouTube and how they both suck in some ways.
Alright, so Matty, how do you feel they suck? Do you know? Have you heard about this topic? Anything at all?
No, I haven't heard about the topic, but personally, since I use Instagram and I use YouTube, I don't really use YouTube except for videos, but when it comes to advertising, YouTube is terrible. And Instagram, they blow up their mechanics way too much. Like every month there's a problem where you can't log into your account and it's run by Facebook. So Facebook is crappy.
Yeah, Facebook's that's the thing too. It's like basically if you own Facebook, you own almost everything, and Google owns YouTube. So if you own Google, you know. And what they've been doing, so if you guys haven't heard, what basically happens is that when they find something they don't like, and they've proven this, when they find a topic or some kind of information that they don't like that's either against what their belief system is, or whether it's attacking someone who they want to run for office or don't want them to run for office, and someone's talking against them or for them, say you're talking about Donald Trump and you're supporting him, then maybe YouTube would be like, well, we found something that was inappropriate in your video, and by inappropriate they mean something that they didn't find politically correct. So then what they do is they'll basically block you from having your account, and if they can't do that and you fight them, which you can, then they'll be like, alright, fine, so we'll give you your account back, but then they'll cease monetization. So in other words, you can't get paid for your videos, which sucks because a lot of people support their families with YouTube. You know about this, right, Maddie?
Yeah,
Alright, what do you think?
I think it's messed up. Honestly, it's like if you have a political business account on Instagram and you're trying to politically advertise, who you're having a campaign with, and they don't let you do that because you're saying something against the president, which is so many advertisements about Donald Trump before he became president, so many things about him and Hillary on national TV, and Instagram takes that down. I think is not Instagram's position to do that, especially when the people putting the advertisement on Instagram is making more money than Instagram is making taking it down. Instagram is also boosting followers on their social media platform. Because of people doing that, they're getting more followers to want to go follow Instagram and also that certain account.
No, it's true, and they've even found this on Twitter. Twitter is falsely generating likes and tweets on their posts to make something appear better than what it is. So something could have only gotten 1,000 likes, but then they alter the numbers, which they can do because they own the company, and then they put like 80,000 likes, and then they'll say like 1 million tweets. Everyone's like, oh, okay, this must be true. And it's not, you know? Have you heard about this?
Oh, yeah. But their platforms, a lot easier to use. Instagram is like, the reason why people don't use Facebook is a generation for older people, which is true. I use Facebook for advertising for my mowing company, and that's the only reason I do that is because their system of how you use it is so much harder. Twitter gets so much more people to use their platform because it's simple. You go on their account, you just type something, and it tweets in seconds. Instagram, you got to go through a whole hashtag post and all that crap, and then when you want to download a video, they only let you do up to a minute. You don't even have to do video on Twitter, which is nice. You can just comment, and a lot more people use Twitter, which is recent as well.
Yeah, Twitter's interesting. It's like, but you know, like as time progresses, like, you know, Facebook's getting really old as well as Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat are the future. What do you think is else the future of social media?
I mean, TikTok is something that a lot of people have been using. I recently just tried out TikTok, and it's great, but TikTok, once again, it's just like any other social media platform. If you're not good with social media, you're not going to get followers. People who get a lot of followers who don't have the check mark next to them, but end up getting the check mark eventually with getting a lot of followers. Like YouTube, you got to get a certain amount of followers to get the check mark. They send you a plaque in the mail. They send you like a 3-level verification until you become a certified YouTuber. It takes time, but if you know your way around electronics and how to use social media and how to do videos and downloads, you'll get followers. But if you're somebody who doesn't know how to do that but just post a video, you're not going to get any likes unless you just follow people for that reason. But TikTok is definitely something that's up and rising. So is Tumblr is more of kind of an art app, but people use that a lot. So there's TikTok's a pretty high up one.
Right. So what do you think about, let's see, what do you think about the future of social media? Do you think companies, since they're considered private companies, but private companies also have the label that they have the same rights as human beings, don't you think that they should also be trialed as such?
Yeah, they should be tried. The future of social media is it's iffy. It really depends on how companies do. I mean, you look at Instagram again and Facebook; they're run by the same system. So when Instagram crashes, so does Facebook, and when Facebook crashes, so does sometimes Snapchat. And the more that apps are going to crash, the more people aren't going to go back and use Instagram. I mean, you look at that Instagram kind of like death row that happened last year, where famous centers lost a lot of followers because of some glitch that somebody hacked into the Instagram system.
Supposed glitch, uh-huh.
Yeah, so because of that, the apps that are more working on a daily basis of up and running that don't have tweaks here and there, those are the apps that are going to be more up and rising because people don't want to have to worry about posting a video that they're going to look back to in a couple of years and realize it's not on their account anymore because Instagram screwed it up with not having technology up to date. And then you post something and it's not there, where you go on a different app like Snapchat, you can always have it in your Snap stories from like years ago.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, have you heard about the hashtag Protect Terrence K. Williams? Have you heard about him?
No, I don't know who that
Okay.
is.
I think you saw my Instagram post. Basically what happened was, this is the guy who got tweeted back from Donald Trump. He'd always do hashtag Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump actually tweeted him back. And after that, since this man is black, then everyone else started attacking him. He started getting death threats. People who knew him started threatening him. He was invited to the White House for a party, and he was on his way, and then his Uber driver supposedly knew who this guy was and purposely wrecked the car. And then this guy almost died. He dislocated his neck and went to the hospital and never made it to the party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Think about the Uber driver
Yeah,
doing
like
what he did?
the whole situation about how this guy was just commenting about how he liked his president, and then people started threatening to kill him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, it's USA, so it's a free country. Your political beliefs can be what you believe in, and you're allowed to share them if you want. I personally don't share my political views, basically because I come from a big family, and not all of my family are on the same side. We go on different sides. So talk about political beliefs around the holidays is not exactly the greatest thing because we got some Democrats and some Republicans in my family. I don't really talk about my political beliefs, but for him, I feel like even if you're a person who knows somebody, it doesn't mean you go out of your way to physically try to kill that person. Or it's like there's so many famous people out in the world. Everybody knows everybody. Think about every single concert that a person goes to. You go see Shawn Mendes. Just because you see Shawn Mendes doesn't mean you go on stage and try to kill him. He's there with thousands of people, but yet nobody tries to attack him. So you go to the White House, that's the same thing. Even if you're an Uber driver, why would you go ahead and try to physically go out of your way to hurt him when, frankly, somebody else down the road would probably try to do that for you, and that saves you time. So, but I think that's messed up, though.
Yeah, the report was apparently he was high, but the fact that that happened in the first place on the day that he was on his way, and right after, he ended up in the hospital and got all these death threats. Don't you think it's a little too much coincidence of everything? Don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's too much coincidence how it happened. It's also, you don't even know what the cops even think either. Not saying cops are terrible. Some cops are great, some are terrible, but you also don't know if the cops didn't like the guy to begin with and they knew he was getting pretty famous on the internet. Cops might have sided with the Uber driver just in that instant, and nothing you can do about it. You have no evidence. If the Uber driver, he's the only one there, cops are obviously going to side with him. So you have no evidence on what the cops actually know and what they actually decided to put down on whose fault it was. So
Yeah, it's crazy.